Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Simcade. We're live for our F1 2022 Season 6 round. Honestly, forgotten what round we're on now because this is a rerun of round 4 Imola. After the big controversy of everything that went on, we decided to rerun it to make it fair. So our F1 season will be running 1 week longer. I'm joined, as always, by the very good friend, Mr. Dodo. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
Do you know what? I am surprisingly upbeat and happy about this one. I think we're going to have a super fantastic race. So yeah, I'm really excited.
That's good. I hope it's exciting too.
And how are you?
I'm brilliant, as always. Ready for another great Simcade Thursday, as always.
Yeah, I mean, this one feels a bit naughty, but it had to be done, didn't it? It had to be rerun after what happened.
It did. It's only fair. I think it's the right thing to do, and it gives people a second chance at what is a really good track.
Indeed, it is. Let me just okay with Ninja that we're ready to go, and then we'll get to it. I've got a I just have no game music. It's very, very peaceful in the world of Formula One when they have no music on. Hello, Yuki, as always. Ostradil, hello. How are we? We're all very good here. I hope you are too. We do have a few new drivers. We'll run through the drivers, and we'll also run you through the calendar because I have a calendar, and not a calendar. Sorry, the championship leaderboard because we've sort of not neglected it, but not that it's not been important, but it's been a bit of a strange season. So I have it, and then we can all take a look at it. In fact, should we do that now and get it over and done with before we start qualifying?
Sounds good. Yeah.
Here we go. So, as you can see on your pretty screen, there is the championship leaderboard. I'm going to make that bigger so even I can see it because I can't see the darn thing. So obviously, top of the leaderboard, we do have. It's quite a tie, really, isn't it? At the top of the leaderboard, we do have two drivers that are still from day one, and as always, been gunning it for the top stop, and they are at 91 points neck and neck. Throughout a whole season, that's Mans and Cornish, and then the rest of the pack seems to have died off a bit. We do have Extinct, who's about 30 or 40 points behind there, with Rosa as well, 20 points behind them, and then closely followed by Ninja, Fenton, and Gibbo. They're all quite close with Winther, Mitch, and Footy. They're all very close as well, and then the rest of them pretty much single figures, so they're all fighting it out. I mean, a good result here could bring some of the mid pack up considerable amount, actually.
Absolutely, you never know, and that mid pack being so tight is always interesting for the people who are always going for the minor points places. It makes it a lot more important for those positions. It's interesting to see and follow those battles as the season progresses.
It is right. We're just now waiting. Oh, we just hit the grid now. For a second time around that Simcade has hit Imola this season. So this one, I hope it should, in theory, be a bit more of a simpler race, shouldn't it? The last time.
Let's hope. I mean, I can't remember much about Imola last time we came. I remember there was rain. Wasn't there rain at some point here?
Yes. Was it raining quali? I think it was raining.
Yes, it was, wasn't it? Raining quali, yeah. So not a repeat of that this time. Blue skies, but we're not going to have hopefully the off-track drama after the race this time. Try and stay away from that.
Have we got any expectations for the new driver?
Who's a new driver? I don't think. Oh, Stonkin Tonkin.
Yeah, that's a great name, that actually. As names go, I like that. I'm impressed with that.
It's one of the best ones. Yeah, Stonkin Tonkin. I don't know. We'll have to see. I have absolutely no expectations whatsoever. So yeah.
I know that he's been in and around Discord. I don't know much about him. So we'll have to just sort of wait and see what we'll get from him.
I think he's coming out now, actually, in the pits. So,
I think I'm on board with him, actually. So we'll see what it's like his outlap. And then, yeah, we get a good feel. A bit of a slow pit lane here. Oh, I don't think he's struggled to find a gear there. But he's away. What was I going to say? Yeah, a very long pit lane here at Imola. Always had a bit of a wiggle already.
It is a very long pit lane. You lose one of the highest amount of time in the pit lane during the race, so that makes the safety car and stuff even more crucial. You got to be very careful when you do and don't pit.
Yeah, wasn't this the race where we had the 4 safety cars, where we had more safety cars than we did laps normal or something? Was it? Was it 4 or 5 safety cars? Every other
There was a
lap?
lot of safety cars, yeah, if I remember. Yeah, it was. It got a bit of a joke by the end, didn't it?
Yes, I think we
We were
were.
sat in the commentary box going, "Oh, another safety car." But yeah,
Yeah. I do remember this. Some very strange lines from Stonky Tonky, but we'll keep an eye on him to see what it's like. There was 4 safety cars. Was it 4 or 5? There was a lot, and they were every other lap. It got a bit ridiculous.
yeah.
So yeah. Anyway, so a bit of a not a short grid, but a bit of a. I think with how crazy this one was the first time, I don't think a lot of people really want to be doing it again, and I don't blame them because as much as I like Imola, he's boxing straight away. I was just about to take you around on a lap with him, but he boxed straight away. It is a very unique track, and the first 2 chicanes are very tight and flowing. We do have that wonderful downhill sector, and then obviously taken away with the last 2 corners being very technical, don't you?
It's a very technical track. It's similar to Hungary, kind of described as Monaco without the walls. The only real overtaking chance you've got is the main straight with the DRS. But yeah, it's very flowing. It's a very nice track to drive. If you nail a lap here, it's very satisfying. Probably one of the best tracks, I'd say, for driving on the calendar. Definitely. One of the better ones on the calendar for sure.
I have to disagree with you there, Yuki. Yuki's saying that Imola is more standard. It's definitely not standard whatsoever. I think it, like we were saying, it's very technical and it is tricky. Like I said, to get a lap around here. It has only been introduced. It is, yeah. It only got introduced a couple of years ago, didn't it?
Yeah. Well, it was off the calendar, wasn't it? From it was a regular on the calendar until 2006, and then it was off until COVID happened, and then we had it in 2020, and it's been a part of the calendar since 2020 again, which is good because it's one of those tracks I think should be on the calendar.
And I can see why F1 chose to bring it back and do the double Italy races. I can see why. Like we all love Monza, don't get me wrong, but Monza is sort of straight chicane. It's very much the speed demon. It's where you get your top speeds and everything, but it's not like the best for displays where Imola has everything.
Yeah, Imola's more of a driver's track.
Yeah,
where Monza isn't as much. So for 2 very different circuits with very different characteristics, very different setups. So yeah, it's nice to have both of them on the calendar for sure.
What would you say for wings around here? What would you be running?
High downforce around Imola. Obviously, like I said, there's only that one straight that really matters in terms of straight line speed. So it's higher than normal downforce. You could, in theory, go for a higher downforce setup if you want to. A lower downforce setup if you want to be overtaking a lot of people on the straight line. But for overall pace, you want to be on a higher downforce, definitely.
You do have that stonking long straight. Obviously, it does have a bit of a couple of kinks in it, but it primarily is a straight, and you do hit your max speed pretty much by the end of it. But you've got to really, really be nailing that braking point, and you've got to be careful of the pit lane exit on the right hand side as well.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, by far the longest straight on the grid, and you can gain quite a lot there if you've got a lower downforce setup. But you'll lose so much in the twisty, the chicanes and the downhill section with the fast corners that you are better off having a higher downforce.
Right then, so we just hit the first sort of round of qualifying. I think we've pretty much hit half the grid. We've got William the King still to make a lap with Craig Mantis, Stevie, Stonky Tonkin and Footy still to go round. But the rest of them, it looks like Cornish is taking the first step here to taking pole, which for him is brilliant because, like I said, with Mans and Cornish, they're neck and neck. They could not get any closer, could they?
Yeah, true. And I think in qualifying this year, certainly Mans has had the upper hand. I think, his 1 lap pace is pretty phenomenal. So for Cornish to get that initial round of, he's the only man in the 115. So to get that initial round of laps and be on a provisional pole will do a lot for his confidence, and he'll be able to push from here. And that's quite a big gap. That's a tenth of a second, just over a tenth of a second as well. 2/10, sorry, 2/10 of a second. So, yeah.
The only thing they share is the chicanes after the main straight. Oh, you mean Imola? Yes. So yeah, you're right. Imola and Monza do have the same sort of. There's less of a straight between the two chicanes here, but it is pretty much the same design, isn't it? It's two chicanes and then the rest of the track, if that makes sense. It must be like the Italian way.
Possibly. I'm trying to think what it is on other tracks. Mugello isn't the same. Mugello's got a long first corner. Misano is a chicane, I guess, if you think about it.
Yes, it is, yeah. Hi, Rob. How are we? And Misano is such a great track as well. Running that in ACC, and it's another another one of my favourites.
Yeah.
So to me, Imola is just another road course. Nothing really impresses me about it. Anything. Netherlands is more unique, along with Jeddah and Bahrain. Oh, well, you got interesting views on tracks, Yuki. I think.
Say that Imola's not as good as Bahrain, I think, is a very controversial opinion there.
It'd be like saying, like, I don't know. I was trying to think of tracks in America, like Daytona and Watkins or something. You know what I mean? They're boring, but we know that they're not. But well, Daytona maybe, but Watkins is definitely not. You know what I mean? It's a bit like that.
Don't say that; they'll cry.
Watkins is such a great track, isn't it?
Watkins is. There are some amazing tracks in America. To be fair, Sebring as well is another good one.
Yeah. But I guess that's opinions, and we're all entitled to them. We all have them.
Absolutely.
Well, so we've got Mans on an outlap. When he hits the line, would you like to take us through a lap of Imola as the man is trying to chase down Hole against his rival? Really, these two have been teammates from the beginning of the season, but they've been nothing but teammates. Really, have they? They've pushed each other to the bitter end, and I think this is going to continue for the next like 3 or 4 races, or 3 races that we've got left.
Yeah, and they're getting the most out of each other, making each other push super hard, and it's been good to see. I mean, the fact they're on level on points is incredible after this many races. You won't get that very often in any league,
But that just shows.
It's really good to see this. It's also a friendly rivalry as well, isn't it?
Yes.
It's not like a bitter one.
Yeah. Well, we were saying when they hit each other at Portimao that there was no hard feelings. It was an accident. They had a chat after. And it was apologies all round sort of thing. And even in the commentary box when we talked to them about it, you could even get that feeling, didn't you, that it was just a mistake.
Yeah, exactly. It's there's a lot of respect between them.
Right, so a lap around with Mans. Take her away.
Alright, so like we were talking about, this long DRS straight, best overtaking opportunity in the race, and then you want to be on the brakes to start this curb, flip the car in to this left-right chicane, and this is flat in these cars, this third part of the chicane, then you're flat out towards the Villeneuve chicane, and you want to slap it on the curbs, use all the curb on the right-hand side, don't invalidate there, it's very easy to do, and then slowest corner on the circuit, get the car into it, and then get a good exit, and then this section is very fast, this next corner is very committed, downhill, very fast, use all the downforce, flick it into the left-hander, use all the curb on the right-hand side, and then you've got quite a tricky uphill double right-hander, hit the apex and then hit the second apex, and then use all the power on the exit using the traction you've got from those nice soft tyres, and then another heavy braking zone into the chicane. You want to use all the curb on the left and then a little bit on the right as well, and then another quite a long straight, possibly overtaking zone in the race. Car gets out of the way nicely on the left hand side, and then brake late downhill into the double left-hander and get a nice exit out of the final corner over the DRS detection zone, over the line, and it's a 15.6. Good lap from Mans there.
I think that lap there was just showing pure knowledge of the track, and that Mans has had to park it in so many different places. And I'm honestly starting to get the feeling that this league is starting to turn real F1 on how compliant the cars around the other side of the track, when he was coming around the corners, everybody was getting out of the way, and it looked very more like professional. It's kind of weird.
It's good. It's what you want when you're on a lap. You don't want people getting in your way. It's horrible. It's horrible when you're a couple of tenths up and then you're impeded by someone. So it's good to see people being respectful and getting out of the way when they need to.
The double right-hander, the downhill right-hander, that I'm just watching Extinct is just invalidated. How tricky is that? Because the elevation change on this track is pretty, drastic. It's almost like it's not as much as Brazil, but it's not far from it, is it? The up and down that you get.
Yeah, no, it's not. That double right-hander into it's downhill, but then as you go through the corner, it's uphill. So you can actually brake quite late, and you're actually braking and turning at the same time because the first part of the corner you can take pretty much flat. And then once you hit the apex of the first part, that's when you want to be braking. So you're trail braking all the way through. And you want to carry as much speed as you can over the apex there, and then use all the curb on the left-hand side to slingshot you down to the chicane. So it's quite a difficult corner to get right, but there's a lot of time to gain if you can carry that minimum speed through.
And obviously you got the uphill section before it as well, so it's quite up. A bit like a roller coaster, but not as, like I said, not as dramatic as Brazil, but it's getting there. And you have to be fully committed on that exit of the second right-hander because that curb on the left-hand side. If you get that too far across, you're going around in this game, aren't you? There's no question about it. It's like going on ice.
It can be, yeah. The curbs are lethal sometimes, so the drivers will know where the limit is. And as you see, Mans, I think that was a great example of where that limit is.
Yep, and hopefully next week we'll know exactly what the curbs are like in the new game and the tractions, because obviously that's something that they've been working on quite a lot, isn't it, in the new game?
Yeah, it's I'm excited for that. I can't believe it's next week that the game comes out, but yeah, it's interesting to see.
This next Tuesday for the Champions Edition or the EA Access 10 hours. Well, what was EA Access? EA Play now, whatever they call it. And then it is normal release on Friday.
Yeah, it is indeed. I've got the Champions Edition, so I'll be playing on Tuesday.
And I've got EA Play, so I'll be playing it on Tuesday.
Brilliant.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'll be using my 10 hours free, and then I'll be going straight onto the disc that's arriving on Friday. As Ninja's just invalidated going flying over the last chicane. That's one way not to do it. So you've been doing much racing recently yourself? Any league racing, or are you on wind down at the moment?
I'm on a bit of an off period at the moment, which is nice. Other than the ACC for Simcade, I haven't been doing any league racing. I've just doing a bit of iRacing, just chilling out until the madness of next game starts again. It's nice to have a bit of downtime and get away from the F1 game, to be honest, because I've been playing a lot of it over the last year.
It's a game that, especially this game, has taken an awful lot of commitment, as Simi is parking on the grass. I think he was letting a few cars through. It's something that absorbs lives and takes a lot of commitment. We were just going on board with Stonkin Tonkin. He's on an outlap at the moment. I think he's been really struggling, Yuki. I know you've been asking for see what he can do with under 5 minutes to go. He's been really struggling, I think, with the game. From what I've been watching on board with him. I don't know if you've had the same feeling.
I haven't really been watching him, to be honest, but I guess we'll see now because looks like he's going to start a lap.
Yes, he is, yes.
So we can go on board with him and see what he's got. At the moment he hasn't set a lap time, so we don't know what his pace is like. So we have absolutely no idea what to expect.
I was solid in F2 apparently on Monday. So, yes. Oh, wait, yes, I think I know who he is now. Right, yes, I do know who he is now. I take that back when I said I don't know who he is. I do. Yes. One of Mitch's friends.
Oh, okay.
He looks like he's on controller.
Yeah, I guess that as well.
Because the steering input's not as smooth as it would be as on wheel. Yeah. But yeah, it looks like he's putting in the pace. Like he's no slouch. We'll see where this is going to take him. If he can keep it within track limits, he's just got to sort of a bit wide there. But I think he managed to keep it by not putting his foot in.
Yeah, he's not invalidated yet. The minimap hasn't gone red. so he's all right, and it's been a tidy lap so far.
Yeah, I think what he's been struggling with a minute to go, we are going to have to head over to, I think the last two cars are just about to start their lap. We'll go on board with Cornish, as I think he is the second of the two cars as he comes around the last corner. Stonkin Tonkin gets it across the line. Where's that going to put him? That is going to put him into P11. Not bad. Not bad.
No, not for a first attempt at all yet.
So we're just going to go on board with Cornish. I think got Man's just ahead of him, so hopefully don't get in each other's way. We get it, wheel players. Yeah, no, we're not all wheel players. I can't play F1 on the wheel, especially this version. It's been awful. For me personally, we're just watching Cornish as he looks like he's just about to hit the Sector 1 timing board after this. We'll see where he is up on his Delta. I think he's up 2/10
down.
Oh, 2/10 down. Yes, sorry. He was. I misread that. Yes, he is. So that's not a great start. But again, laps do come to you. You know, we saw Max at Monaco down 3/10, and then just in the shortest section of the circuit, manages to put off put off a lap.
He's already 3/10 behind. Already 3/10 behind Man, so he's got to find half a second in 2 seconds. It's going to be a tall order. He's always still a 10th down on his previous best, so it's not looking like the lap's coming to him at the end of this qualifying session.
Well, that was a purple sector 2.
He went purple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe too little too late on the first sector.
It's going to have to be a Max Verstappen final sector here if he's got any chance of being on pole position. As he goes through the final 2 corners now. He gets a good exit, but it doesn't look particularly fast. He's going to get the DRS open, and he's going to come across the line. Doesn't improve. No,
it's close that. So what we're going to see, Man's back off as he's already got it, or we're going to see him push to the line and see if he can improve. He's going to keep on pushing. Where does this take his lap? He did not improve. Oh, he did. 15 seconds yet.
Yeah, he'd already backed off as Cornish overtook him. I think Man's went wide.
Well, that looks like that sort of concludes qualifying. Then we've got one more person who's on the lap still. It's 26 seconds down. And, yep, the last
Golf is a 10th off. Yeah. So that's our grid, I think, then.
I think it is. So Cornish in chat just lost 3/10 in the first sector, found it all back, but just couldn't improve, bottled it. I mean, it's one of those, isn't it? You know, you're starting P2 on the grid, as I'll run through the grid in a second. It's not a bad place to start, is it?
No, not at all. And also, pole position is quite awkward on this game because it's straight into a corner, so you kind of have to turn as you're accelerating, which isn't great because then you lose traction. So it's definitely one of the worst pole positions to get on the calendar, I would say.
It is indeed. Right, we'll just run through the grid. Taking another pole position of the season is Man's, close followed again by Cornish, with it Stink taking P3 on the grid, with Footy, Lance, Jack, William the King, Golf, Last Ninja Cow and Ostradel taking P10, and then with Simi, Stonkin Tonkin, Craig, Stevie and Mantis rounding at the back of the grid. Stevie not having a great qualifying, not finding his foot in here?
I think he's just not been able to put the time into the game this week as much as he would like to. So
yes, understandable.
Yeah, not where we'd expect it. But,
no.
But no. We all have stuff going on, so we can't always commit to the game as much as we'd like sometimes.
So, well, I forgot to sort of quickly, whilst we're in the bit of a lull here, how was the go-karting and how's Mr. Karoon?
The go-karting was really fun. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. It was great. And yeah, we had a little chat with Karoon Chandler, which was nice. Got a photo with him. He was really nice guy.
He is.
The whole day was really good. So yeah, I'm glad I did it, and I'll definitely be down to do it next year if other people do as well. So yeah, it was really nice.
I believe you were just off qualifying for more of it.
Yeah, we were. So the 2 heats, the top 12 went through from the heats, and we were 14th in the end. But I mean, so many of the people there were people who quite clearly regularly did karting and had their own helmets and suits and stuff. So for people, I mean, I've only ever done karting for 20 minutes before that point, and I think it was the same for the other 3 guys in our team. So it was always an uphill battle, but it was still really fun. We did our best.
Good. I'm glad. Congrats on that, because like I say, it's a big event, big thing to do, and like I say, you got to meet Karoon, which is fantastic as well.
Yeah, so it's a bonus. Yeah, definitely.
And Dodo, apparently, looks British as hell.
I do. That is the greatest compliment I've ever received. So
As compliments go.
it is. It is a good one.
Yeah. I think Stevie is the most standout person in that picture, to be fair. Not going to lie.
What is facial expression?
Just all in all. He just looks how he speaks, if that makes any sort of sense. I'd get a picture up, but
they're all really calm. It was nice to finally meet Stevie after. I feel like I've known him so long through the sim racing and Simcade and the army, esports and stuff, but nice to put faces to names for once,
yes.
and not be speaking to them through a mic and actually face to face.
Yes, it is. Yeah, such a great thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Anyway, back onto what we're here for, some actual racing. So Yuki's got Footy to win. I mean, I wouldn't say it's so much. It's not a bad shout, to be fair, is it? I mean, I've got a feeling that your top three are going to be your top three now. Not going to say in that order, but I'm going to be as neutral as always. So I'm not going to pick my winner, but I think them top three, top 4 or 5 is very, very strong here, including Jack, to be fair. Needs a great race performance, doesn't he, Jack? We say this every week about him. He, bless his heart, he's here every single week, putting in the performances, and he just gets tangled up into too many incidents.
Hopefully that doesn't happen now.
No.
Because it'd be nice to see him up there. But I mean, I agree with you. I think the top three will stay the same.
Yep.
I mean, obviously, my boy Steve is who I usually go for, but even for a man of his talent, I don't think he's going to be able to do it from P14. So last week I just said Mans, and that came true. So I'm going to say Mans again. Like I said last week, I think he's in good form,
and
I think he'll have enough.
Top 5 are all on the hard tyres, with Jack and William the King on mediums, along with Stonky Tonkin, Craig, and Cornish. So I'll leave you for the start of the race.
Brilliant. Okay.
Let me see if I can get a great camera angle. I've got the back of the grid, which is always great. So take it away.
I've gone on board with Extinct to see the start of the top 3. The lights are out and away we go, and it looks like it's a pretty even start from all 3, but Extinct's got a decent start from 3rd. He's already alongside Cornish, and he's going to get the slipstream on Mans here. He might have a go into turn 1, but it looks like Mans has got that covered off. Behind him, it looks like Jack's made a brilliant start on those mediums, already up into 4th place, ahead of Lance and Footy dropping down into 6th place, Ostradel up into 7th, and Tonkin as well up into 8th. That's a brilliant start from him on his debut. But overall, it looks really, really clean. As we have, is that now Tari off in the background? It is. It's Simi off in the background. But other than that, it looks like a pretty clean start.
Caused double yellows in sector 1 and 2, because I think that was just on the line of yellow 2. But yeah, very clean start from everybody, which is what we needed around here. I think there's another car off as William the King just as well, just after Simi had the spin. I don't think there was any contact between the two of them. But yeah, so biggest winners and losers.
Maybe, I'm not sure.
I don't think there were. I think it's 2 separate occasions that they both went off in the same area, with Simi going off first. Winners and losers there. Stonkin Tonkin obviously making a fantastic start, and so Ostradal with Jack as well making. We were just talking about him before the race started, with an absolute blinder of a start there, managing to get his way through a couple of cars in front of him.
Yeah, it's a dream start for Jack. I mean, obviously he's on those mediums, so he's going to get that extra couple of metres off the line with the extra grip, but he's made the use of it. He's up into 4th already. Again, Ostradel, Stonkin Tonkin, Stevie as well up into 10th, along with his teammate Cornish following him through, both with 4 positions gained, so that's a good start for the 2 Ferrari boys too. Biggest loser, William the King, 7 down. Footy hasn't had a great one either, which is a shame because he had a great quali. And then also Ninja with a uncharacteristic bad start, because Ninja's a bit of a ninja.
Jack, sorry to apologise, just overtalk you then. Is Jack nearly making a dive up at the inside of Extinct as well? So their medium tyres runners are getting the benefit, aren't they? They are pushing the way up the grid, which is good to see. And Jack, like I said, really close to the back of Extinct, which is good to see.
Yeah, Jack's improved so much, and using those mediums. It'd be nice to see if we can stick it to the front 3, because I feel like the front 3, they kind of check out usually. We don't really have anyone to challenge them, but if we can have someone like Jack up there, it'd be really good.
Yeah, and I think like you said, the front 2 or 3 usually do disappear, but this time it seems to be a bit more reserved. I think the front two, I don't think really need or want to make any mistakes due to the championship, do they? I think they've got to keep it quite clean, as Cornish puts in the fastest lap and does take off a couple of tenths off Mans, whose commanding race pace is phenomenal. His one lap performance is great too, but the way that he commands the front and dictates the pace is brilliant.
Yeah, he's one of the best, if not the best, on the grid. Mans is. The way that he can get pole and then keep it is pretty amazing on this game. So, like I said, I don't think there's going to be much that can stop him today, other than himself probably with a mistake or something.
Oh, so
also got to look out for track limits.
So Yuki's comparing the Verstappen and Hamilton era to the Cornish and Mans era. I think, well, yeah, I'd say that, but without the toxicity. Lance has had a bit of a spin, like you were saying before. Yeah, that's uncharacteristic. Usually, he's the more is usually the person who's on the pace the whole time. I was talking to him yesterday, and he enjoys sitting behind people, watching what they're going to do very closely, and then makes his move when he's ready. As Mans just taken a full second and a bit off Cornish there.
Yeah, and I'm watching Stevie and Ninja, and it looks like Steve's got a really good run out the final corner. He's going to go around the outside, and he's already got the move before they even get to the braking zone with DRS open. So that's a 6th position gained in the first 4 laps of Stevie. Good start from him. But yeah, it's a shame for Lance, because again, he was one of those people that he had a really good quali, and it was interesting to see where he could end up. But
was there any contact with Ostradal? Because it looks like they're both in the pits with a wing change. Well, I think Lance isn't, but Ostradal has.
I don't know, because I wasn't watching. I was watching Stevie and Ninja, so I'm not quite sure whether there was or not.
I'm pretty sure we'll see at the end of the race if there is any footage of that. Just on board with Stonkin Tonkin again. He's not struggling with race pace as much as he does hit the curb quite vigorously there, but with the amount of fuel that they've got on board, it doesn't seem to be dragging the car too far away, but he seems to be keeping his own.
Yeah, it's a good position up there in 7th, made 5 positions. He's used over half of his ERS, which compared to the guys around him is a little bit more than them. But yeah, at the moment he seems to be making no mistakes. Certainly the consistency is there, and it's not like, I mean, Stevie's hardly all over the back of him, so it's impressive for a debut, certainly. Yeah,
and we're seeing Jack just falling off the pace of the top 3 now, which is sort of what we would have predicted if he couldn't keep up the pace in the first couple of laps, that he was going to fall back, to be fair. No, that's no disrespect to Jack, but the front 3 are just totally on it.
They are, yeah, and what I wouldn't have expected as much is this gap out front. Man's dominating at the moment. I mean, we very rarely see him pull out of DRS from Cornish because they're so closely matched, but he's got almost a 2-second gap now on Cornish, so it's looking pretty imperious out front, is Mans.
With, I think Stonkin Tonkin is and Stevie. We'll have to watch that battle closely. Stevie's on a wicked charge, so we'll have to see on how that fares. We've got sort of 3 or 4 waiting in the Alpine at the back there of William the King, sort of trying to push Stevie along a little bit. Oh, it's Cornish, sorry.
Yeah,
so I'm trying to push Cornish.
Cornish, isn't he?
Yeah. We're going to watch this one, how that one develops down the main straight, because I can see a bit of a DRS train happening here between the 4 or 5 of them, because I think Ninja's just going to start to get into this fight as well. We'll see how that develops and who gets past or near who.
Yeah, I mean, Stonkin Tonkin's out of ERS completely now, so he's going to be very susceptible to the guys behind down this straight once they get a bit closer. Stevie picks up the first track limits warning.
He does. He doesn't need that, really. He'll be pretty upset with himself.
Yeah, he probably will. Although he's got a good run here. Stonkin Tonkin's made a mistake. Stevie goes through, and there's a bit of contact between Mantis and Stonkin Tonkin by the looks of it. But Stonkin Tonkin keeps the position.
Because I don't think there's any damage there, but again, the subtle amount of damage, and this is going to give a run for the car behind as well. I'm not quite sure who's... William the King is tucked in right behind Mantis. Is he going to make a dive at the inside? No, I think he thinks otherwise, in the double downhill right-hander, it's not the best place to try and overtake. As they're all weaving...
Maybe very, very skilled inside there.
They're all weaving. Oh, up the inside, Stonkin! Oh!
And he spun it. He went wide and spun. That was a very optimistic move. That was never going to pay off.
And that's allowed William the King to get through on Mantis as well, in the background of that.
Yeah, these three very close, aren't they? Stevie, William the King, and Cornish, almost nose to tail.
Yeah.
With the DRS open, I wouldn't be surprised if William the King has a go on Stevie.
He's going to go round.
He's going to go for it. It's close to the outside.
We know that's going to be difficult around the chicane because you're going to have the tight line. He goes over the sausage curbs and, yeah, just loses that. Kind of lucky not there to collect Stevie there with jumping over the curbs.
Yeah. Stevie there. Hard but fair racing, I think. Not giving him any more room than he has to.
Stonkin on the background there has managed to get past Ninja as well. I don't know whether Ninja has had a bit of a torrid couple of corners, but yeah. It's hard to take the eyes off Stevie, William the King, Cornish, and William the King's picked up a penalty now as he's with the charge. I'm guessing that's a turn one instant would have been a turn one corner would have been a warning, and then he's had a couple more in the background as well.
Yeah, probably. He must have picked one up. He must have picked one up before, one at the first corner, and then one later in the lap, which is a shame. But he's got another good run of Stevie here.
He has. Again, he's going to have to try around the outside. He's going to have to be brave on them brakes. They are so intertwined. They're pushing each other off.
Contact onto the gravel, and now they're side by side with Mantis. And this is getting close, this battle. This is feisty stuff.
It is. And again, it looks like Stevie does manage to keep hold of that one. But he managed to get DRS as well, which I don't know if he just managed to just dip behind William the King to get the DRS. In the background, Tonkin just goes straight on as well in the background. And William the King's off.
Yeah, he's gone.
Is that a clatter with the curb, maybe?
I think it was just too eager on the throttle coming out the first chicane, which is a shame there.
Well, that leaves the two teammates to try and get a bit of breathing space now, because all over the back of them two is Ninja and Tonkin. Oh, and Stevie's hit the wall! Stevie has hit the wall.
Front wings off, yeah. He does such a good start.
He'll be really upset with that, I think.
He will. One of those things.
He was in such a great position there.
Cornish Mantis to 7th as well.
And we do have a safety car because of the debris on the track.
I'm not sure if Mans is going to be particularly thrilled about that one.
8 laps in out of 32. We have Jack in the pits to get rid of their medium tyres. He's going to do an awfully long stint on them hards. If that's the tyre.
I'd do the same. I'd do the same. You lose so much time in the pit lane. It's very, very worth it to go onto those hard tyres now. If you can make them last, you're going to gain a lot of time.
So you got Tonkin and Ninja. Ninja's in as well. I wouldn't have seen that one coming for getting rid of the hards onto the mediums.
Got nothing to lose, I think, down in 9th place. Might as well try it.
I think they might be waiting for another safety car. I think that might be the what they're doing.
Well, if the previous race is anything to go by, then it's very certain, very likely we're going to have another safety car or 2 or 3 or 4. So
I don't think we're going to have that many this time, but yeah, I think more than one is more than likely because the track being so narrow and not a lot of runoff. Like you're saying, it's a street circuit without as many walls, and there is a little bit of runoff, but you are sort of prone to get safety cars here.
Yeah, it's one of those tracks that you can't really avoid it, as we've seen already after 9 laps with that incident with Stevie. Stevie will be lucky because he's basically got not a free wing change, but he's lost a lot less time than he would have done with that wing change, and he'll be straight onto the back of the pack. So,
yep.
You know, that's helped him out. It's also helped the medium runners out a lot because they've effectively got a free pit stop. They'll be straight onto the back of the pack, and I think Jack now is in a very good position, because it definitely is possible to get those hard tyres to the end of the race.
It is. It might not be able to stick it to the top 2, but maybe looking around where Extinct is would not be a bad shout, really, would it?
No, not at all. And even keeping that 4th place that he's had for the start of this race would be a really good result for Jack. So
And another
Mantis now pits.
Yeah, I was going to say another helping hand for Jack there is Mantis in the pits. I don't think we're going to see any rain. I don't think with rain on the cards. I don't think so.
Doesn't like it. No, it's blue skies.
Expect Ostradel to be making some bold moves on the restart. Oh. Maybe. Who knows? What I can say though is a strong showing from the 2 McLarens so far, with being 8th and 9th. I know that Stonga Tonga did have a few incidents, but yeah, he's brought himself up to 9th again, which is great.
Yep. And Craig as well is up there in 8th, which is good to see.
Yeah, I don't think he's been in the pits yet.
A race. Had a quiet race, but he's got the track position.
Yeah, I'm guessing he's still on wheel. Oh, we've got a spinner in the background and William the King in the background there.
Yeah, that's an odd one under the safety car.
I mean, I've done it, so it's easy done.
Yeah, you always feel like a bit of a pillock when you do that kind of thing.
Yeah, you do. That's a great word.
I'm sure he's I'm sure he's a bit embarrassed by that, but he'll be able to close back up. He's only lost 1 place.
It's like I say, it's very easily done, and then you do feel sort of slightly embarrassed. And if you are in a chat with like a certain few people, it's like almost like hitting the back of somebody, isn't it? As a safety car is in this lap, so Mans will take us away for another safety car restart. We'll get on board with him. But yeah, you do feel like a bit of a flid, don't you? On how you think simple it is doing 50-60 mile an hour, but you can still manage to spin it.
You probably find he's trying to warm up his tyres. He just got a bit over eager on that and spun the rear wheels a bit too much. It's easily done because you're trying to keep the temperature in, and it's very easy to overdo it sometimes.
And around the last 2 corners, as Mans gives the safety car enough room to come in, because obviously we do have that weird engine glitch in this game, don't we?
Yeah. You get limited to a certain amount of throttle, a certain amount of speed until the safety car's in, and then he's gone now.
I think Extinct's been caught out a little bit with Footy, and there's about a group of 4 cars. We'll have to see how that one evolves, but they're all tucking in behind each other. I don't think anybody's going to make a bold move up the inside. I thought Golf might have a look there, but thought otherwise as well. With Jack all over the back of him, and the top 2 getting away as cleanly as they did at the race start.
Yeah, I'm surprised Fussy didn't stick one up the inside of Extinct there, because that's probably one of the only chances he's going to get to get ahead of one of those top 3 guys. But they all kept it clean by the looks of it. No crashes or spins at the moment. So
just to compliment Golf, he's getting absolute great traction out some of these corners. And I know he's just had a moment there. Is that going to allow Jack to push back up behind him? I don't think anything is just a bit too far behind, but he was getting fantastic traction out of the corners.
Yeah, he's clearly pushing to try and get ahead of Footy here.
He is, and again, Golf's another one, puts in all the practice, but has got double yellows in sectors 2 and 3. I think that is Ostradel that is around, and we did have William the King again, had another incident at the background and picked up another 3-second penalty.
Yeah, not the best day for William the King. He's had another spin by the looks of it on the mini-map, yellow flags.
Yep.
Jack is now getting very close to the back of Golf Maniac. He's going to go down the inside, and he's got the move done.
That was just ERS assisted. There's no DRS there because we still haven't got DRS until the end of this lap. So that there was a fantastic move.
Yeah, Jack clearly feels like he has the pace on those fresh hards to warrant using a little bit more ERS to get the moves done.
And now can he get after Footy? But he's got to be careful. He's got to let them hard tyres last, hasn't he?
Yes, he doesn't want to be taking too much life out of them. But at the moment, when everyone's close together, it's very tempting to put the moves in. So I'm sure when the race settles down, he'll go more into tyre conservation mode.
Yeah, and obviously he's in a prime position if everybody's going to pit around, what, 16, 17, 18, there or thereabouts?
Yeah.
Hey,
He will take over the lead of the race.
if he can keep this pace up. He doesn't want the top 3 or 4 to get away from him too much. He has to really get these guys within arm's reach. And I think that's Footsy off as well on the wall. In the background, I don't think he's got any damage. I think he's just about okay. He did unghost in such a random place there, though. And then it ghosted him again.
Yeah, I think it's just a spin.
There's just a spin there for Footy. Again, there's another one that could do with the confidence boost when it comes to putting in the performances, with Stevie picking up a 5-second penalty for ignoring yellows. I'm pretty sure that one will get ignored because that'll be overtaking Footy is what I suspect that would be.
Yes, probably. I imagine that will get wiped off.
That's such a horrible thing to happen, isn't it?
It is, yeah. Some of the penalties on this game, I mean, obviously they can't be perfect, but some of them are a bit of a joke. But that's why we have stewards outside of the game to put right that kind of thing.
Yeah, I've seen some really weird ones, like getting taken out at turn 1 at Monza and going flying across the first chicane because you've got no other option to because you've been taken out, and it gives you like a 15-second penalty. Oh, I've seen silly things like that.
Yeah. Getting a straight line on Monza first chicane, you go across it because you're sliding and you get a 10-second penalty for corner cutting.
Yeah, it's I'd say it's all fun and games, but it's really, really frustrating.
It is if you're in a league and you're doing it seriously. It can be very, very very annoying.
Yep. So Yuki reckons that there should be weather reporting in Spectator. Now, I agree there. I think we should get the initial weather report like you do the tyre choices. Hello, Linus. Yeah. I don't speak whatever language there is. Apologies. But if it's showing your support for Ostradel, then go Ostradel. That's what it is. Apologies. Yes. So there is another safety car. Oh, is that for William the King? This is at the back of the grid.
Must be. I can't see any other reason why there would be a safety car for that.
Let's see if anybody's got damage. No, William King's got full car. I think it's for Footy. Footy has no front wing. So that's why. So it's a damage. Safety cars are pretty sensitive around here, which this is going to help out Mans and Cornish. Which is not what we needed for Jack, because Jack's going to, yes, effectively take over the lead of the race, but the deficit won't be
too
as
early
much.
for the mediums. Slightly too early for the mediums. I mean,
But they're going for it.
The end, but
they are going for it.
If they do pit, Jack will still come out in the lead of the Grand Prix.
Yes, he will. Well, whilst we've got a bit of a lull, if anybody hasn't already, do check out our website as Yuki's just posted. And if you're not in our Discord, then do join the Discord as well. If you don't have to race with us, you can just join in with the community and show your support for your fellow drivers out on the track. But if you'd like to race, we're still open. And obviously we are nearing the end of Season 6, so Season 7 is just around the corner. And we've got some exciting things in the pipeline for that as well. So do come and join us for that as well. Why not? You've got nothing to lose. And plus you get to hear me and Dodo commentate every week, which is great.
The greatest commentary pairing of all time, of course.
Of course, yes. Who needs Crofty and Brundle?
We're not biased at all.
No. F1's Sky Sports got nothing on us. What was I about to say then? Obviously, we still are raising money for Combat Stress, so don't forget to head over to that link because we did an event for Dam Busters, so we're still raising some money. The link is still open. It will be to the end of the season, so if you have any spare money lying around in your bank account, then please, every penny does help. Tyres, as Yuki is pointing me out, pretty much everybody's on the mediums, with Jack being on the fresher hard tyres. I think he is in a prime. Him and Cornish Mantis are in a great position here.
Yeah.
To get themselves up the grid. Absolutely. But they're medium runners. They're running 17 laps. That's a big ask, isn't it, of them medium tyres?
It's a lot, but they'll be able to do it, but I think the pace will be enough for the likes of Mans and Cornish to get back through. I'm not sure about the other medium runners because the tyres will drop off quite heavily. Something else I noticed on the pit lane, obviously with Mans and Cornish being the same team, double stacking. Cornish has lost out to extinct, which is a shame. He's now dropped behind the Aston Martin.
Yeah, but again, it's probably best that he did lose out, because otherwise, if he'd have done another lap, it would have been totally out of sync.
Yeah, it's just a shame that obviously they have to make that decision with double stacking and stuff, because it's one of those things. But again, it's one of the things that you got to take into account. But I'm sure Cornish will get back through.
You see,
pretty quickly.
This is the thing with being teammates. Like, you are teammates, but then you don't want to be teammates because you are fighting for that championship. But it's the risk you've got to take. It would be interesting to see what the deficit would have been like if he'd have pit a lap later, if you know what I mean. Where would that have placed him?
Safety car had picked him up, then he'd have been down the back of the grid.
It's such a shame, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I had a similar thing with being teammates with Phoenix. The person in front has such a big advantage. You can kind of pick when you want to pit, and if there's a safety car or something, you double stack. And I was on the receiving end of a double stack, and I was also on the better end of a double stack where I gained from it as well. So it happens. You just got to kind of deal with it as it comes.
Kudos to Stevie though after his incident, getting himself back up to P4. That's great to see Stevie back up there, isn't it? 8 seconds of penalties, mine, but yeah, still good to see.
Yeah, obviously 5 of those seconds should be wiped off. So he's only got 3 seconds as it stands, and also he's going to have to pit again because those mediums will not make it to the end.
So Jack
already doing 7 laps.
Jack on a race restart here really needs to back them up as best he can, but I think he might have just got away with that. With Ninja close tucked in behind, and Lance again tucked in behind. Is anybody going to make a dive this time? As I think Mans and Cornish Mantis have switched positions. The inside nearly. Lance, I think, just thinking a bit better of it.
Cornish Mantis are running along with Extinct as well.
Yeah, see, that's the thing with ending up in the mid-pack. I think Extinct's lost a lot of places there. And Cornish Mantis as well, getting stuck behind his good old pal William, your king again.
Yeah, Mans has dive on down the inside as well.
Oh, and that's 3 of them out.
3 people out.
Big contact between Cornish Mantis, William the King, and Craig.
They're all still in the race.
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean that. I meant taken out off the track. Sorry, apologies.
Yeah, a lot of damage though with Mantis and Craig with no front wing.
And it looked like, William the King there took a really strange line there as well. Not having the best time out, these lot.
No, you see Mans and Cornish already carving their way through the field so effectively. It's only been 1 lap within the race and they're already up to 4th and 5th, following each other through, like you'd expect. And it's not going to be long before they're on the back of Jack the leader. Speaking of on the back of Jack the leader, Ninja is going for a move for the lead of the race.
He is going to go up the inside into the first chicane as he tucks Jack in very, very well and makes sure that they're both compliant and get through the corner, leaving him enough space. He's going to allow Mans through as well, which is not what Jack needs. Again, I think
Mans has gone through.
Jack just picking his battles.
Yeah, I mean, this was such a good restart for Mans.
Cornish up the inside of Lance.
And nothing.
And is he going to get
Jack?
These medium tyres are absolutely working for these boys, aren't they? Again, Cornish manages to get through there as well. And Lance is going to go the outside around now of Jack, but again, thinks better of it. But he's got to be careful. Stevie is tucked in right behind there as Ninja. There's lots of overtaking. I don't know where to look.
Yeah, this restart's been very hectic. A lot of people jostling with people out of position. And I imagine one of the next moves we're going to see is Mans for the lead again. It's crucial now that with Mans tucked up behind Ninja, that Cornish gets into that DRS range, as we've got Ostradel off at the chicane in the background. Here goes Mans then for the lead of the race.
Around the inside, it looks like a pretty straightforward move there, and Cornish does not want to be left behind too much and stuck behind Ninja. He wants to make sure that he gets past him pretty efficiently on a nice straight as William the King sets the fastest lap of the race. So he's got pace, just not got the consistency.
Yeah, not been a great race for.
Oh,
Ninja's off. Yeah, that's gonna let Cornish. So that's exactly what Cornish would have wanted, and he's still within that second. So the battle is still on for this race.
It is, and they're both on the medium tyres, and they're both going to push each other to the bitter end of these tyres because, like I said, they pitted quite early, didn't they?
Yeah, as Footy and Stonkin Tonkin have both had offs at the hairpin there. Footy dropping down to 9th, Stonkin Tonkin down to 12th.
Yeah, Cornish just sticking with Mans, and William the King picked up another 3 seconds.
Yeah, when it rains it pours, and it certainly is pouring for William the King today. This is a great four-way battle going on between Jack, Stevie, Extinct, and Lance here. We've got Stevie and Extinct going wheel to wheel, and it looks like Extinct is looking to make up for that restart blunder that he had, the spin. He's took right behind the rear wing of that Ferrari. He's going to try and go down the inside. But he's run out of ERS by the looks of it, and Stevie's going to hold the position. He's going to go around the outside himself of Jack.
What a move!
That is a lovely move. That is a lovely move. Move of the day there from Stevie around the outside of the chicane. Jack might come back at him though around the outside.
Oh, I
this
think that was
lovely, and that might. Oh, he's gone wide a bit, and that's going to allow Extinct around the outside. Is he going to get the move done there side by side, still on the exit? Yeah, he does it. Good move from Extinct, but that move from Stevie first corner was lovely.
Yeah, I think that definitely caught Jack out. I don't think he was sort of expecting the overspeed from Stevie to drag it and to get it slowed down and drag it around the corner. That was very impressive.
Yeah, very committed. He knew what he was going to do, and he did it very well. As now Extinct is, as you'd expect, all over the back of Stevie, and probably will get the move done with the assistance of DRS down the main straight.
Which is a shame that happens, isn't it? You do all that hard work to get into a great position to then have somebody just pick your pocket down the straight.
Yeah, but without DRS we would see very little overtaking, so it's kind of a bit of a trade-off.
Are we going to see Footy around the outside of Lance there?
It looks like it. He's got him, yeah. And to be fair to Stevie, he's kept the position. Looks like Extinct has drained his ERS. And we know the power of the ERS is very, very high. And Stevie's managed to keep that position for one more lap.
Well, it's something that we'll be losing in the next couple of years, isn't it, the ERS? Because we're going to normal engines.
Yeah, they're a lot more realistic. I think the DRS and the slipstream had basically no effect in this game when compared to the ERS. So I think it's going to be all balanced out.
Yep.
For the next game, hopefully.
As we just keeping an eye on Ninja as well. Oh, Extinct made a move on Stevie up the hill.
Just before the chicane. There from Stevie. And Extinct did not need a second invitation.
And Stonkin Tonkin picks up a 3-second penalty there. I'm not quite sure where he's on track. He's just behind this main pack. Just coming to the chicane now.
For the lead, looks like Cornish is having to use a lot of ERS just to keep up with Mans. I think Mans has got a lot of pace in hand. If you look at Cornish's ERS, 14%. You got Mans on almost 50. Looks like Mans is definitely the fastest man on track at the moment.
Yellow flag set to 1. That is Stevie. He's hit the wall as well, I think.
Yeah, he's got an end plate missing on the left-hand side there. He's going to have to come in for a stop again. I mean, he has to pit for tyres anyway, so yeah, not a day to remember for Stevie, but I'm sure he'll be back.
That's allowed Ostradal through, and he's all over the back of Golf as well.
He is, yeah, right on the gearbox. This mid-pack really will not have a day off, will they?
No, just looking at the two Red Bull boys, they're next to each other as well with yellow flag sector. That's Ostrich all around. I was just commenting on how good he was doing, and he's around. I think.
They've got a lot of spins.
Yeah,
in this race.
3-second penalty
Which is not
for
normal
Lance.
for a lot of the people.
No. And Mans,
like Mans has had enough of Cornish being in his DRS, and he's decided to put in the fastest lap and pull out over a second. So I think that's, barring a late safety car, that's the race over really. Over the pace that Mans has, I don't think there's much Cornish can do.
9 laps to go. I think the battle is now for third, but it looks like Extinct has that one covered. Unless them tyres do proper fade off. There's a good yellow flag sector
Can't
1.
see it being that bad. That's
Is that
Lance
Lance
around. Yeah, again, Lance is around again.
I think he almost got it beached, it looked like though. He was struggling to get away.
He's got damage as well on the left-hand side of his front wing.
He has. So again, that's another one falling victim of the wall.
Yeah, a lot of spins, a lot of crashes this week. It's weird to see. We don't usually see these drivers so accident prone.
Indeed, I think it's just the curse of Imola.
Possibly is, yeah. The only close battle on track at the moment, by the looks of it, is the two AlphaTauris of Simi and Golf, with Simi still on the tyres that he put on 22 laps ago.
Is the man going for a hard, soft run? Maybe we have seen it done a couple of times, haven't we? Oh, he's in the pits.
Oh
there
no, he's in the pits. So yeah, maybe the softs will be going on that car. We'll see. Let's let Golf go.
I'm going to stay on board and see what tyres. We have a couple of pit crews out in the garage, Ferrari and Alpine, and it is the soft tyres.
That's going to be one fast AlphaTauri then. See how many places he can make up in the last 8 laps.
See, a safety car here would work out fantastic, even though he's just spent all that time in the pit lane.
Yeah, safety car here will be terrible for for Simi after spending that time in the pit lane. Everyone in front of him will be able to pit for softs and get out ahead of him.
So let's see how fast. Keep an eye on Simi, see how fast he can get. But it looks like Extinct has fallen nearly 10 seconds off the leaders, and Jack again 7 seconds behind that. So and Jack's under pressure from Footy as well, as Footy skips over the second chicane there.
Yeah, I mean with Footy on 9-lap-old mediums and Jack on 15-lap-old hards, this should be a slam dunk, but we'll see.
And with the two up front just controlling their own paces, I think it's pretty much going to be a walk for them two as well, unless we see any mistakes. As around up the inside, we're going to see Footy try and make a move.
Yeah,
I think we are, but I don't think Jack's going to let this one go easy. But he has. I think he just conceived that, picking his battles. But he got a great exit out of the first chicane. But it looks like Footy's got that covered.
Yeah, he definitely thought about it then, Jack, but thought better of it. I think he knows that Footy's quicker on those mediums. But I mean, a 5th place for Jack would still be incredible, and really good to build on. It
would be, and like I said, consistency is what that man needs when it comes to his F1 season here.
Yeah, I think he's been one of the only drivers this race that hasn't had an accident or a spin, so he can be really happy and proud of that one.
Yeah,
for definite.
Definitely. I think this is the closest battle on track. I think everybody's sort of found their own little pockets of Imola.
They have, yeah.
Which is interesting.
Yeah, this usually happens, doesn't it? We get a bit of
a... yeah, not to this like degree, but yeah. It does.
It's weird. They're all so close.
We've got yellow flags
and now they've all spread out.
Oh, we've got Lance DNF'd.
Lance is out. Safety car. So we're going to see some people in the pit lane, I think, as the safety car will not pick up the leaders until they've passed the pit lane. So I would not be surprised to see the likes of Cornish trying the soft tyres, possibly.
Oh, I was just trying to see if I could see Lance's car there to see what happened. I'm pretty sure he'll jump in to chat. Yeah, sorry, I just had to jinx it. That's my usual thing, is jinxing it, to be honest, isn't it? If it's not me, it's Dodo. And we did have William the King as well. Enough of all of his penalties. So we got Stonkin Tonkin, Cornish Mantis, and Ostradell in the pits so far. And it looks to me like we're going to see the top two. Are we going to see a little like feint like we did a couple of weeks ago?
I don't know. I hate this. As a leader, you do not know what to do, because if you don't come in and everyone behind you does, you're going to be vulnerable. But then again, if you do pit and everyone behind you doesn't, and you've given up track position. So
oh, he's done it again.
In the end, Mans decides not to pit, and I reckon Cornish. Oh God, it's just the same. Oh, I don't know about that one. If I was Cornish, I'd have tried it, but that's just me. What's Stink gonna do? Oh, he stays out as well.
I think I do like the excitement of these little pit lane like antics that we've had, but I think it is a bit. He's hit the bollard, which to me the bollard is you're going in.
The bollard's a bit cheeky there from Mans.
He's gone around the bollard, which I know like it's a curse of watching him, but we're interested in what they're both doing. But yeah, a bit naughty going around it, and then Cornish makes it 10 times worse by hitting it. But I don't know. You penalise one, you're gonna have to penalise the other, really, because they both did pretty much the same thing.
Yeah.
So it's not going to make much difference.
Mans was trying to get Cornish to pit, but I mean that never really works, because you can see what the car in front's doing. You can see them pull off to the side, so it's always a bit of fun. I'm surprised, to be honest, to see Cornish not try the soft tyres, because I think that's kind of his only chance now of winning this race. But clearly he's happy to just take the points for second.
So we have some inside news from Crane. Apparently Lance's wheel disconnected, so it's a mechanical failure, so he went straight into the wall. He's still having issues with that wheel, which is it's quite strange on how often this is happening with his wheel.
What wheel is it? Do you know?
He has a Thrustmaster. It's not the DD new one, it's the one before that, the servo one.
TSXW.
I don't, whatever.
Or the TSPC.
No idea. Crane will probably know more than me.
I have that one. So
he's just had to get it replaced, and you can see Mans there still trying to force. It is the GTDT2.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know about that one, to be honest.
Or something like that, he said. Something like that. Not quite sure. But Mans still trying to put pressure on Cornish by feinting the pit. Even behind the safety car.
Yeah, I think I don't know what's going to fall for that, Mans. You can stop that one. I don't think anyone's gonna fall for that. But
no, not especially where they are on track. Yeah. Then with how long this pit lane is, like I say, back of the grid, apart from the two of the Ferrari and the Alfa Romeo. It is the GTDD2. So it's a direct drive.
GTDD2. Yeah, he might do, because he'll be on PC.
He has had a lot of issues, USB cable issues, and obviously we know that it was overheating and it went back to Thrustmaster as well, and changed a lot of parts, and then he got a new one as well. So still having troubles. I think it's something he needs to. He is thinking it's a USB failure on his motherboard.
Could be.
So yeah. he has just received a new motherboard for a new build that he's building. So exciting times there.
Yeah, nice one. Yes, it's not like Thrustmaster to have issues. I mean, I've had a couple of Thrustmaster wheels and never had a problem with them. So it's one of the more reliable wheel brands, I would say.
And here we go for 3 laps left of Imola, and we're going to stick on board with Extinct, who's got a Ferrari shoved in the middle there, which is going to be awkward. Is it Stevie is shoved in the middle? That's going to be awkward for Stevie. As the top two get away. Are we going to see a dive from Cornish, or is it going to be 1-2 as it was before? And it looks
like Man's got the run.
It does, yes, that's what I was going to say. It looks like Cornish does not have any sort of pace, as it doesn't even look like Stevie's getting out of the way much. He's going to have to be careful, because the blue flags do occur penalties if you don't let people through, regardless of ghosting.
Yeah, I don't think they're particularly strict with the blue flags. One thing I will be interested to see, these soft runners behind the likes of Ninja and Extinct are going to be absolutely rapid, and they've got a couple of laps now to close down on that podium. So I'm looking at Footy, I'm looking at Jack. See what they can do now. I
was just on board with Footy now, who is smelling the oil from that gearbox of that Mercedes. He
absolutely is.
All over it, which is great to see. And then Jack again, another one. Stevie getting past Craig there.
Yeah, those two being lapped, but still battling on track. So Footy is now tucked down in the slipstream of Ninja, but it looks like Ninja's using all of his ERS to stay ahead.
I think both of them have used the equal amounts of ERS to try and fend each other off, and nobody really benefiting from anything there. So it looks like the was out wide is Footy.
Here comes Jack. He might have a go. Oh, he's going to do the switchback. He's not quite. And this is costing them, because the more that they battle and the more they make mistakes, the less chance they're going to get to attack the likes of Extinct. There's a little wobble there from Footy, and Jack's going to go possibly down the inside in this fast left-hander, but he thinks better of it. Footy needs to get a move on if he wants to get that podium.
He does. It's tonking up the inside there of Jack. Oh, and I think a little bit of a tap.
A little bit of a tap that keeps place.
That's a fantastic move there. They're all bunched up, as that's going to allow Cornish Mantis through.
Cornish Mantis.
Jack being pushed off onto the rod, and it looks like in the background there, Golf getting squeezed so much there, and there's going to be 4 of them going into one corner. Oh, and Osterzel, I think, just pushed Golf around. I don't think that was fully intentional, and Jack's been given a 5-second penalty for getting in the position there.
Yeah, that would be when he cut across the chicane, but I don't think there's much he could do about it, because it was a very late dive from Mantis, so I'm sure that'll be sent to the steward after the race. And
Tonkin walking away with P6 at the moment, and pulling out a 1.4 second gap on Jack, which is on his debut F1 is great to see. And I think Ninja is holding on for dear life, bearing in mind he has that penalty. So he really needs to get a move on, but I don't think the mediums have got the pace in them.
No, I think Footy will take this. Oh, I say that, and Footy's round. He's spun it, and Tonkin is up into 5th place.
I did not see that coming.
Third spin of the day. Not a good day for him.
So apparently Lance is saying the less we say about this race, the better.
I think a lot of people are going to think that way about this one, with the amount of spins and crashes that we've had. Apart from Mans, who seems to have
dominated again
perfectly.
As they start the last lap. Just been pure domination from the top 2, and I did, and you did. We both called the top 3 being the top 3, and guess what? They're in exactly the same order that they started this Grand Prix in.
It's usually how it goes, and Oh, and we've got another spinner. It's Jack. Jack off the first chicane. Oh, he's been doing so well, and that's his first mistake, and it's on the last lap of the race. Oh no! I'm so disappointed with that.
Hello, Mr. Crazy. How are you? Welcome to the stream. Welcome everybody, old and new. We're just about on the last lap of the Grand Prix. We're just going to bring in Mans and Cornish as they are going to take the checkered flag again for what has been a bit of a mix of a race. And I'm not going to curse the top three at all whatsoever. It's going to be as they were when they started the Grand Prix. The top three are going to cross the line with Mans taking the checkered flag for the top step of the podium, close to followed by Cornish and Extinct rounding up the top three. And Ninja, can he hold on to that P4 behind him, or is Stonking going to take it away from him? No, actually Stonking's lost a place because they have penalties as well, so apologies. With Footy completing again. Jack, you know what? He was on for a great finish there.
I'm gutted for Jack. He did everything right up until then. Such a shame because he was so quick and he had that strategy with the hards. And, oh man, I'm good. I'm heartbroken.
So am I. It's Cornish Mantis picks up the game's driver of the day. If you've just joined in, then you can vote for your driver of the day. If not, then put in your driver of the day anyway. Why not? I'll ring through the grid really quickly as Mans takes the top step of the podium and another leap to push his championship hopes higher and higher, with Cornish not far behind him in P2, with Extinct taking a fantastic consistent P3, with Ninja, Cornish Manta, Stonkin Tonkin on a fantastic debut there for P6, Simi, Footy, Ostradel, Golf ran up the top 10, with Jack unfortunately taking that P11, which is not where it needs to be. Stevie being a lap down as well as Craig. But they do finish with Lance and William the King are our two DNFs.
Bad race overall.
There was so much going on, I couldn't even predict a driver of the day. I'm gonna give you my driver of the day, okay? And this is not a reflection on his race finish, okay, but I'm going to give Jack my driver of the day because I think he did everything right and it's just so unfortunate to lose it on that last corner and deserves much more than what he's actually got.
Solid choice.
What do you think? Who are you selecting?
There's a couple, but I think overall, I'm really impressed with Stonkin Tonkin, but I think overall, it's got to be Mans. I know it's cliche to go with the guy who wins, but no, he didn't. He literally didn't put a foot wrong. Even when he was carving through the field after that pit stop under the safety car, he was so fast, putting in the moves. Got the fastest lap, pole position, almost led every lap. Unbelievable stuff from man. So he's my driver of the day.
Yeah, I'd say it's been pure dominance, and it's not just been pure dominance from him. It's been pure dominance from the top two. Really, aren't they? They have been pretty on it.
Yeah, they're in a league of their own, aren't they? Up there, fight for that title, which is what we expect. We know they're very class drivers.
Indeed.
They're always up there every week. You can't knock it.
No, you can't. No, not at all. And we'll just wait for the top three to join us in the commentary box. Not in the commentary box. We'll move down to the podium. So bear with Dodo.
Give me a sec.
Yep. No,
the whole Dodo is slow at doing this meme is still running. I see.
No, I don't know what you're on about. I moved down. I'll wait for him. I'm pretty sure it won't take him much longer to get down. So we have a couple of questions there. You've got Yuki. You've got a couple of questions. Just to whilst we wait for the top three, don't forget if you haven't already, go check out our website, join the Discord, do all the great things that you guys do, and thank you very much for your support. So yeah, if you like what you're seeing, do follow the channel, like and subscribe, and hit the bell because the bell then notifies you when we're doing our little videos.
Absolutely, and we need more drivers as well, so get involved.
Yes.
We need full grids. 20 out of 20 drivers I expect from next week. And if there's anyone in chat that hasn't joined up, then I'm going to have words.
I think the only one that hasn't is Yuki, but that's because he doesn't have the game. But he's always in chat, Mr. Consistency in chat. Right, we have the top three with us. We'll start off with Mans yet again from start to finish. Commanding as always. Did you feel a bit nervous when Cornish put in his first qualifying lap, or did you think you had it in the bag?
I saw his lap was pretty fast, and mine was like 3 tenths behind, but I made some mistakes, so I know I probably could get a better time. But Imola is also one of my favorite tracks, so I feel pretty strong around this track. So I felt like it was a pretty commanding win.
And again, yeah, we did see you from start to finish. Obviously, not fully lead, but theoretically, with pit stops and everything, you did really lead from start to finish. The little jink again in the pit lanes, trying to force Cornish to think about pitting, and I seen that you did it behind the safety car as well, which obviously is a bit stretched. But mind games going on this close to the end of the season.
I mean, I just want it to work one time, so I will probably try it every race.
Is it just a bit of like harmless fun?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. So with you two going neck and neck, you were even on points. I think you'll just creep ahead by a couple of points now. Is it getting tough? Are you getting like nervous, or you pretty much got this?
I mean, it's always nervous, I don't know what tracks Cornish is strong on, and he probably doesn't know what tracks I'm strong on, so it will probably be pretty close right until the end.
Brilliant. That's great that you're still going to go for it for the end of the last couple of races. Congratulations on the top step again.
Thank you.
Cornish. Now, obviously, you're probably expecting a bit of a better performance. You bottled quali. You could have been sort of with him if you didn't have such a poor first sector. Is that crucial for your championship, or is it just another P2 is great that you're still in it?
I'm really annoyed with how quali went, because I saved a set of softs on the off chance that I'd need them, but I didn't want to do 3 laps anyway. So on that last lap when I went out, I lost 2.7 tenths going into turn 3. I was 2.7 tenths down, so I knew I'd bottled it, but I found all that time in my lap, so I knew there was 3 tenths in my time, so I could have been up there with Mons to challenge for pole, but like you say, I completely bottled it. Other than that, it was just it was too quick today. Couple of attempts here and there every lap. Doesn't make mistakes again. Like I say, it's lovely. It's lovely to race with him because it makes me want to get quicker myself. But it's annoying not being able to get past. It is. But like Mon says, we'll keep going until the end of the season. He's got a few points now on me. Like you say, we were tied coming into this race, so he'll have a little jump on me. But I'll give it me all, like I do every race, and I just hope he makes a bloody mistake here or there. Or when you're talking about the weaving into the pits to try and catch me out, he'll get me one day, 100%.
I mean, I was just going to comment on that. Are you close to falling for it? As in, like, are you?
Yeah, I'm thinking about it. As soon as I see him shift to the right, I'm going, I've got to follow. But because we're on the same team in these houses, it's like what happened with when the safety car came out, and me, Mons, and Extinct all jumped into the pits from hards to mediums to go to the end. I lost a position to Extinct behind because me and Mons double stacked, and I lost like 3 seconds in the pit because of it. But after that, me and Mons cut through the field, and at the end of the safety car lap, we were up to P3 and 2 behind Ninja, and that was fun. I can't lie, that was very fun. But again, yeah, it was a fun race, but again, nothing I could do to challenge Mons. It was again too quick. Couple of attempts here and there every lap, too quick for me.
I was just about to say that you two cutting through the field was superb, and Dodo, was loving it.
Yeah, it was a good time.
It was a good section. I've got a quick question, if I may, AJ.
Of course, yeah, go for it.
I just wanted to know, obviously we had the safety car at the end, and it was possible to get the softs on for you. And at the time, I remember saying on commentary that might be one of your only chances to maybe challenge the mighty Mans who's been so dominant. So were you considering softs maybe going for a last lap dash, or was that never? Were you just going to set for P2?
I was in the party with Simi, Cameron, Footy, and Mantus, and Cameron said he was going to pit. Footy was pitting, Simi was staying out, Mantus was staying out. So I knew a couple of cars were going to pit behind me. The thought process was with hindsight, I should have pitted for softs because 4 or 5 cars pitted behind me, and I only would have lost 1 position to Ninja. I think I would have come out behind Ninja, but he had a penalty, and I would have been on the fresher tyre. So, like you say, that would have been my only real shout to get him. But that's with hindsight. At the time, I wasn't giving up track position there because I still had Extinct behind. He was quick today as well, very quick. He was always within a couple of seconds of me and Mons. Never really dropped out of it. So I had that in mind as well. So couldn't throw away a P2, not with how close the championship is.
And just one last question for the both of you, for Mans and Cornish. This is from Yuki. Do you guys compare yourselves to the Max Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton era, the way that the season has progressed, and your previous season as well? Do you feel like this is not as much bitter rivalry, but do you think this is good rivalry like them two?
This is a Cornish and Swedish rivalry. It's completely different. Completely different. I love it though.
I think it's more friendly than Max and Lewis.
Exactly.
More calm.
More calm.
We're not killing each other every weekend, or attempting to anyway,
Brilliant. Well, congratulations, Cornish, and thank you very much.
Cheers, guys.
Dodo, you can interview Extinct because I feel like I'm holding you back.
Okay, cool. So Extinct, it was an up and down race for you, definitely. I think the defining moment was that spin. So just talk us through what happened and how you managed to come back from that.
I love the intense waiting for Extinct to.
Yeah, if you're talking, by the way, mate, we can't hear you.
Are we here?
Got a bit some of that.
Okay, sorry about that. So after the safety car, I was behind Mans and I saw him overtake Cornish and I thought I'd just follow him through, but I don't think Cornish saw me there and then just turned in on me, and then I did like a half spin, so dropped some places after that, but I saw it was more carnage ahead because like people on the harsh didn't stop, so they're obviously slower than the people who stopped for mediums. And then the number of safety cars also wasn't ideal because like, every time I build a gap behind a safety car comes in, and then all the entire field punches together. And then I didn't have much straight line speed either because I was running a bit higher wing. So didn't expect like end up P3 after all that happened in the race, after all the carnage.
Yeah, it's a good race for myself. I have nothing else to say really, because other than the spin and everything else, it was a good drive. So I guess I'll hand it back to AJ.
I was just going to say, it is feel like you guys have been pushing yourselves for the top 3 spots. Extinct, are you wanting to get more in and around the pace of Cornish and Mans, or are they just too far away?
I mean, I just gave up on F122 because like even before a league race, I don't do any practice. I just put a setup and just go to qualifying, do some qualifying laps, and that's it. So I don't think this like for now I want to be on their pace, but I won't be that far either because like I saw and I was keeping up like few seconds behind Cornish, and it like kept me to keep pushing so that I can like if anything happens to the front two, I can just pass them maybe like, or maybe if the one of them gets a time penalty, so like I can advantage on that. So not expecting to be their pace.
Well, I mean, not their pace or not, you still have got some fantastic pace. Anyway, but thank you very much and congratulations on another P3.
Thank you.
And congratulations to all of you, and hope to see you back with us again very soon.
Catch you next week, guys. Legends as always. See you in a bit. Have a good evening.
Congrats on a podium, everyone.
Legend there. See you in a bit.
Yeah. Right, well, that brings the end to another fantastic race and another trip to Imola, which we didn't think that we were doing. Yuki, thanks, and thank you everybody for joining us. Don't forget, that is obviously the end of this week's racing, but don't forget we are back next week. I'm just going to get the calendar up to see where we are. Here we go. So next week we start at, next week's Monza week. We're just doing Italy back to back. So obviously next week is a very special week for us. We have Monza starting off on the F2, and then we have Monza on the ACC Sprint on Tuesday. Then we hit Monza. I'm going to be saying Monza quite a lot for Gran Turismo 7 with the Swifts and the GR3s, and then back to F1 to hit our to end our Monza week on F1. But all these races, this is going to be down as a Monza week championship. So the guy that gets the most points over the disciplines that he races in wins Monza week. So you got to be in it to win it. I'll be there. I'm sure everybody else here at Simcade will be. So yeah, don't forget to check that out. I'm sure you'll be there for the ACC Sprint. Dodo?
Well, absolutely.
So for everybody that has raced this week, for everybody that's joined in the chat and on the streams, thank you very much for all the winners and losers. Again, thank you very much for being here. Don't forget to check the website out and join Discord if you haven't already. And thank you very much. Dodo, as always, an absolute pleasure to have you in the commentary box, and hopefully, as it has been for the past 5 or 6 weeks, hopefully much the same again next week.
Of course, pleasure's all mine. And I look forward to next week, Monza week.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you very much, and we shall see you all very, very soon. Goodbye.